Yes, students, in the previous session we discussed two diseases that are one is ascariasis, helminthic disease, and another is typhoid or enteric fever, a bacterial disease. Ascariasis is caused by a monogenetic nematode parasite, that is Ascaris lumbricoides. The infective stage is the second stage of rhabdidiform larva. Second stage of juvenile form, that means the second stage of rhabdidiform larva. And the typhoid is caused by the gram-negative, rod-shaped gram-negative bacterium, that is Salmonella typhi. The infection is transmitted by the direct or oral, through direct or oral contact, through the contaminated food and water. Both ascariasis and typhoid are transmitted through the contaminated food and water. And in both the cases, the pathogen, the infective stage, they are transmitted from the fecal material of the infected portion. Fecal material, feces, stool, from the stool to the healthy portion. Transmitted from the stool of the infected person to the healthy person. By who carry? They are carried by the passive vectors like flies and cockroaches. The flies and cockroaches, house fly, the small, the fruit flies, the cockroaches, other insects, they carry the pathogen from the feces of the infected person, and they bring the pathogen to, they contaminate, bring the pathogen to our food material. That means they contaminate our food and water. So, how it can be prevented? By maintaining the good sanitation and hygienic conditions. Is it? Is not this? Yes. So, what else? And properly coverage of the eatables and drinking the boiled water or the filtered water. And what else? The defecation should not be done outdoor, and proper disposal of the human feces should be done. Proper disposal. The main is maintaining the sanitation, good sanitation and the hygienic conditions. In this session, we are going to discuss another bacterial disease, that is pneumonia. Bacterial disease caused by the gram-positive bacteria Diplococcus pneumoniae or Streptococcus pneumoniae. Even depending upon the place, different type of bacteria, they infect the pneumonia. They cause the pneumonia. Sorry. So the pneumonia is a bacterial disease caused by commonly Diplococcus pneumoniae, Diplococcus pneumoniae, and even Streptococcus pneumoniae. Even by another bacterium, Haemophilus influenzae. The mycoplasma, the smallest bacteria. Mycoplasma, which was commonly known as previously PPLO. PPLO. Pleuropneumonia, like full form of PPLO is pleuropneumonia like organism. Okay, so on the basis of depending upon the place, the different type of bacteria they causes the pneumonia. This is a respiratory disorder. How I will discuss. These are the Diplococcus or Streptococcus pneumoniae. These are the paired bacteria. How they are found? Within the cyst, the paired bacteria are found. Okay, like this within the cyst. These are found in the paired stage. 2 bacteria. Okay, and even the viruses also. Some viruses also causes the pneumonia. But most common is Diplococcus or Streptococcus pneumoniae, even the Haemophilus influenzae. The incubation period, they infect the person within 1 to 3 days. The incubation period. Incubation period is 1 to 3 days. 1 to 3 days. Within this period, within the incubation period, it remain asymptomatic. The person remain asymptomatic. Then the symptoms are shown. The mode of infection. What is the mode of infection? Yes, airborne. Airborne. How it is airborne? Airborne disease. Pathogen is spread. Pathogen is spread through the droplets of the pathogen. The bacteria cyst present in the sputum. Airborne disease, that is through droplets or the aerosols. What are aerosols? The liquid plus air. The liquid plus air is called aerosol. Next, the liquid particle. Liquid is droplet. Liquid, the particle plus air, that makes the aerosol. So droplets, that is the droplets of the sputum containing the bacterial cyst, they make the droplets. Sputum droplets, we can see sputum droplets. Droplets of the infected person contain other person. The sputum droplets of the infected person carry the bacterial cyst or the cyst of the bacteria, and they spread to other healthy persons. We inhale that. Suppose the infected person is coughing or sneezing, and it is natural because one's respiratory tract is choked because of the accumulation of the mucosal fluid. Mainly, what happens? Suppose this is in the respiratory region, in the bronchioles and in the alveoli, okay, and in the alveoli they are deposited. Suppose the bacteria, they are deposited in the alveoli. So they infect the alveolar wall, the immune system of our body gives the response. So whenever some infection is done in our body, immediately the inflammation starts. The mucus starts secreting. Mucus are deposited. So what happens? In response to this, mucus are deposited, mucus are secreted and deposited. Thus, the alveolar wall becomes thick, and as the exchange of gases takes place in between the blood vessel and the alveoli in the respiratory surface, that is not done properly. So, oxygen deficit occurs. Deficiency of oxygen is resulted. So, the person is feeling breathlessness and the repeated or the fast breathing one does, but still then breathlessness, one is feeling breathlessness and oxygen deficiency occurs. So first of all, what happens? The mucus is due to the accumulation of the pathogen in the alveoli. Accumulation. We inhale. Okay. How they are transmitted? From the sputum droplets. The cysts are transmitted to our nasal cavity, to the respiratory tract. That means we inhale these droplets. The healthy person inhale these droplets and being transmitted, and thus the pathogen is transmitted to a healthy person. Okay. Then these pathogens, the bacteria infest, accumulate in alveoli and the bronchial region also, alveoli and bronchioles. Thus, in the immune response, as the immune response is created, it creates the immune response this bacteria creates the immune response and more mucus is secreted. More mucus is secreted. That causes the irritation and coughing and sneezing occurs. Let us discuss the symptoms. Okay, what is this? This is bronchiole. Then the atria is there, atria. Then this is alveolus, alveoli, alveolus, alveolus. This is blood vessel. Let us discuss the symptom. Write down all this. Yes, what are the symptoms as we discussed that due to the accumulation of the mucus, the fluid in the alveoli and bronchioles, it causes the irritation leading to the severe coughing. Mucus may rusty, means reddish in color, or green tinged or with the green color with the blood. Fever, it leads to fever, fast breathing, quick breathing and feeling breathlessness, because as I described, the mucus is deposited and the alveolar wall gets thickened. So due to the insufficient oxygen, the exchange of oxygen could not take place. That's why due to the deficit of oxygen, the breathlessness is felt, is occurred. Chill or shivering, chill and shivering, feeling of extreme cold, that is chill, and shivering. Increased and fast heart rate, increased heart rate and fast heart rate. Fatigue, feeling extreme tiredness, feeling extreme tiredness. How it occurs, you see, oxygen is become deficient, so extreme tiredness. So tissues do not get the oxygen properly due to improper exchange and due to lack of the oxygen. Means as I have shown you, if this is the alveoli and this blood does not get oxygenated, still it remains deoxygenated. It remains deoxygenated means less oxygen. Deoxygenated. That means it remains the blood with less oxygen. So the person becomes breathless and fast breathing occurs, the heart rate is increased, fatigue, the feeling of tiredness, extreme tiredness, the body parts are not capable to do their work. The body parts, the tissue becomes non-functional. Untreated, even the person dies. If the person is not treated, then it is fatal and the person dies. The nausea, the vomiting, diarrhea also due to the secretion of more mucus, the vomiting sensation, that is nausea, the feeling before the vomiting, and may lead to the vomiting and the diarrhea. Okay? Because of large amount of mucus that are secreted. Diagnosis, the physical examination is done, pulse rate, to see the rate of respiration and the heart condition, the lungs and hearts affect, and X-ray of the chest is, if required, it is done, and pathological test means blood test is done. In the severe case, the mucus from the alveoli are collected and tested for the presence of the pathogen, for the bacteria. Treatment, antibiotics like penicillin and flucloxacillin are generally given. The penicillin is commonly known as pen or PCN. Penicillin commonly known as PCN or even pen. This is given intravenously. This penicillin is given intravenously, means into the vein. Intravenously. The penicillin is injected. Injection is given intravenously. Pneumococcal vaccine is also prepared. Pneumococcal from the pneumonia, the bacteria. Pneumococcal vaccine are prepared and also used for the persons, those who are with the cardiovascular or lungs problem, or the persons, the old age person, those who are more than 65 years old. And remember, these pathogens, these bacteria also transmitted from the articles, utensils used by the patients. So, main prevention is the isolation of the patient. The prevention is isolation of the patient. Prevention. Prevention is the isolation of the infected person. Isolation of the infected person. Because generally it is the pathogens are transmitted from the infected person to a healthy person from the articles, utensils used by the patient. Even the bacteria are transmitted from the utensils or the articles used by the patient or the infected person. So, isolation is the main prevention. Okay. So, what we learned in this so far we studied about the pneumonia. Pneumonia is caused by the mainly commonly by Diplococcus pneumoniae, Streptococcus pneumoniae, even by Haemophilus influenzae, even by the Mycoplasma in the preliminary pneumonia is caused by Mycoplasma, that is also previously known as PPL, pleuropneumonia-like organism, even by some viruses. So, the treatment that antibiotics can be taken, mainly injections, penicillin or fluoxetine, and the symptom is the severe coughing, then fever, and leads to the vomiting and diarrhea, that due to the more amount of secretion of more amount of mucus, even diarrhea is also found. And severe coughing due to the irritation caused due to the accumulation of the mucus in the alveoli and bronchioles. Next, let us discuss the common cold.